Oh, there we go. That's it. It's more of like a reggae style. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. Welcome to the CaffCast Podcast. Hooray! There's currently no, because this is a pilot. This is the first episode. There's no kind of way of introducing it, but instead of worrying about all that kind of stuff, I thought the best thing for us to do is to go through all of our fantastic guests here. Hopefully, because you're watching right now, you should know who I am, Caff of the CaffCast. This is the CaffCast Podcast of the CaffCast. One of these days,
sorry, where are we?
Exactly. It's going to be hard to keep on saying that because it's quite a lot of
CaffCast of the podcast.
CaffCast Podcast. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I should have probably thought of a better name, but never mind. Anyway, seeing as he's talking already, I'll introduce first Poet, who needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyway. Poet of PoetPlays. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing okay.
Yeah,
just okay.
Just okay. just hanging out, having a good time.
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good.
That is good. I like that you are good.
I'm great. Thanks. That's useful. So I actually asked Poet to be on the podcast quite a long time ago when he visited the ZooCast Jurassic Park, and I visited his as well. Oh my god, this song's getting a bit weird. I'm gonna have to just turn this off because it's really annoying. There we go, perfect. And he said, yeah, sure, I'll do it, and then that was it, because he's that kind of guy, you know. He's always up for just getting involved, and here he is. So Poet, thank you very much for joining me, my friend. So they're slightly less organised, but thankfully she stepped up to the plate. MK of MKTheWorst has joined us as well. Hello, MK. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm pretty great. Actually, I suppose I should probably point out that the real special guest is Hobbs on my lap right now. But you can't see him. Hobbs. I'm just here to help him.
I would go and get Doug the Pug now to try to out pug you, but unfortunately he's having a little sleep, so I don't really want to disturb him at the moment. But it's always good that, I think you're doing a good podcast if you have some kind of animal involved on the podcast. Some kind of cat or something is pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with that. Thank you, MK, for joining us. And also Isaac of GamingOnCaffeine. Now, hopefully, a lot of you guys, if anybody's watching this from my channel, you should know all three of these people because I've collaborated with all these people. There's now some kind of Canadian animal that's replaced Poet for the show. It looks like. Is this some kind of?
Well, you said that it was better with animals, so.
Well,
I mean, to bring my animal to the podcast.
I don't. Looking around me, I have no animals. That's a shame. No. I have a superhero Joker Batman. Who's hanging out in this loot crate box, which is...
I think that counts, yeah?
I mean, it's the closest thing I have. I have a Cooler Master hat. I could wear that for the podcast. I'm sure that Cooler Master would be happy that
Let me just put on my Gunner TM glasses.
Oh, hey, Poet, those Gunner TM glasses, how are those glasses Gunner TM? Are they Gunner TM good?
I think that it's a placebo effect.
I think.
To be perfectly honest with you.
No, you might be right. Isaac of Gaming on Caffeine.
Great type of thing more than anything.
Just trying to get the rails slightly back on track again. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm I'm caffeinated up, so I'm ready to go. You know.
Now, with some people.
It's crazy. Every time I live stream, if I don't have a caffeinated drink, people are like, "What?
What is this? Lies and treachery."
Yeah, I'll be sat drinking water and they'll be like, "Why are you not drinking caffeine?" It's just.
Well, that's actually that's not water. That's well, if that's water, you're probably not drinking.
This isn't water.
No, I was gonna.
I live in a really bad part of town. Okay, it's just
just the pipes, man. The pipes. It's not good. Not good around here. Unfortunately,
not all of us can afford nice pipes. Okay,
90% diesel.
Dirty diesel, delicious. And as you guys might have realised, Gaming on Caffeine, he has Caff in his name, and I have Caff in my name as well. It's one of those things. We saw each other from afar on YouTube.
Squared.
It was one of those situations when
the Google search. Hey, wait.
Eyes met from across the internet.
Yeah, exactly. And it was, there you are. And it was like in slow motion.
Met across the internet. Huh?
And we've got some collaborations going on. We actually just finished our Don't Starve Let's Play, Don't Starve Together, which was really awesome. Those penguins, man, those penguins.
I'd never seen those before. That was insane.
I had never seen them as well. Did you guys know you had there's weird marching penguins in Don't Starve? Have you guys played Don't Starve? Do you know Don't Starve?
I have not seen the penguins yet, but yes, I've played Don't Starve.
It's the first time that I've made it to winter. And,
yeah, same.
It was difficult, but we did well. That was pretty fun. Apparently, Jake's in the chat. Is he? Is Jake around here somewhere? Apparently.
Jake was making a point about how Poets and Caff's beards kind of match, and I was going to say something about how it's actually a Time Shot membership requirement.
Yeah.
They just waived it for me for special reasons.
The thing about beards... Okay, the thing about working from home, rather than the thing about beards. The thing about working from home is that you don't need to keep yourself in a kempt manner.
Right?
Now, I can imagine, like, Canadians, lumberjacks, beards, fine. I can see where Poet's going with it. It makes sense. It's fine. No problem at all. I'm completely stereotyping. That's fine. Maple syrup and beards. That's pretty much it. And the little fluffy tail Poet's got as well.
I have plaid underneath this sweater, underneath this shirt.
I mean, if there wasn't plaid directly grafted to your skin, I would be surprised. Right. So that's totally fair. But I don't need to shave, and I have a quite a good shavy McShaver here, but I don't have like a beardy trimmedy thing, and I don't want to shave because I like having a bit of warmth on my face, but I don't have something to sort of like trim it and make it a bit nicer. So at the moment, it's just very much become a man face, which I'm okay with actually. I'm okay with this.
Kind of the same way. Mine broke, so I can't even really trim
I'm
it.
a little bit behind myself here.
So MK, here's a question for you: if you could grow a fantastic beard, bearing in mind all the social constructs and the conformities that are alive in society today, would you grow just a massive beard?
I'd really have to give that some thought.
I mean, you can have some time if you want.
Like, I'd have to like weigh. I'd have to write a list of pros and cons. Pro, my face wouldn't get cold in the winter.
You'd have to write prose, like write it poetry.
Did you poetry? Did you get because his name's Poet? Yeah.
Right. Oh, beards, how dost I love thee? Let me count the ways.
If anybody's feeling
fuzzy warm, your.
If anybody wants to write a beard haiku in chat, just saying it'll get read out if you write one right
days.
now. Do it. Get involved. This is amazing. And I think because it is quite cold at the moment as well, isn't it? Over in the States, it is quite a snowy time that you guys are having over there. So a beard might be beneficial, right?
Yeah, exactly. Although people are giving me a really hard time because at PAX South, I was given an invitation to touch Vintage Beef's beard, and I declined.
Wow.
Because I said if I start touching it, I might not be able to stop.
Yeah, and I think there's probably a point where that becomes creepy. Like you can start to sort of,
you know what?
Oh, this is quite a nice beard, actually. Yeah. Oh,
I think that was a blatant lie. MK is a beard hater. And the reason I will say that is because nobody declines the beard.
Beardist, even.
Well, I'm going to have another opportunity next weekend at PAX East. So I think he's going to be there. We'll see.
I mean, if you want more time with the beard, you could probably ask him if you can have like a one-to-one session.
Like if he could just like walk away, let me hang out with the beard.
Yeah, that's fine.
Does that work? Is that a thing?
It might be. I have no idea. Oh dear. So anybody, welcome to welcome to the CaffCast Podcast, everybody. This is, believe it or not, some kind of relatively gamey kind of podcast where we're going to be spending.
I thought we were here to talk about hair care and beard care.
Well, I was informed of beardage.
There was a moose already on this show.
Now, yeah, that's true, and a cat. I mean, I think we're doing well so far. I've got to admit, 10 minutes in, and we haven't come off the rails yet. It's totally fine.
I'm gonna save that pants story, Jake. I'm gonna not talk about that right now. See, the chat is going.
Oh, is there some more? I can see the chat, but I'm kind of distracted by the whole adminning the podcast thing. What's going on?
Actually running a podcast. Yeah,
oh, Wynn's here. Look, and Anasia's here. Oh, guys, you're all here. This is super duper fantastic. Look at this.
What's your first topic, Caff?
The first topic. Well, I think there's a kind of a method to the madness here. The first thing that I thought that it would be quite good to do is spend a little bit of time talking about the games that we've been playing this month. This is a monthly podcast, guys, for anybody who's interested. They are going to hopefully be going out on the first of every month or the first Sunday of every month or something along those lines. So we're going to spend a bit of time talking about games that we're playing at the moment, anything that we're enjoying, anything that we're really hating at the moment. Then we've got some sort of hot news of the month, and that's just literally a couple of topics that I pulled out of my arse.
Any news about me is hot.
Yep, the hot poet news. That's coming. That's a segment. That's an hour in itself. Hot poet news. It's just poet with a sexy soundtrack, just going sort of bow.
Some dance moves.
Yeah, I've got some Minecraft coming up. I got a time shot episode. It's coming soon. Yeah, something like that. I like it. I think that might have to become a thing. Hashtag hot poet news. Get that trending right now in Asia.
For you. Let me just
about to tweet something about hot poet news.
I've got 2 videos coming out tonight. We're going in the long dark, baby.
Access the second one for the low price of $29.95.
Oh my god, it's gonna be that should be. God. I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be a thing.
Okay, the whole me getting warm was just a coincidence.
Hashtag MK Hot for Poet. I think I get that trending as well. Let's get involved here. This is good. This is good stuff. Oh my god! And then we will finish off with talking about what's coming up next month on our channels. So if you're looking forward to a little bit of news, especially about poet and always hot poet action, then yeah, please feel free to stick around. Isaac, there is one thing I wanted to quickly cover with you. I noticed that you're not wearing a beard today. What's going on there? Do you have an outside life that you have to upkeep, or?
I do. Yeah, I have to go. I have college that I attend to, 5 days of the week.
I see.
And I did have more going on to yesterday, and then I bought a trimmer, as you guys were pointing out you hadn't on. I have one here. But
good job. No, so you can actually cut your hair. Yeah, that's good.
Yes, I can. I have the
right during the podcast.
I think you had it right there, ready to show it off.
I mean, you guys didn't see at the start of the podcast, but he was actually trimming it up, and he was getting himself just doing a little bit of this.
I've got a lot of things that I just randomly keep on my desk. I've got chapstick, nail polish, Chinese food,
mayonnaise. Oh my god!
And a box of tissues. That's all I have.
It's just my main talking point.
Wow, poet.
Gotta have it.
It's about your Canadian ways, my friend, but that's not how we fly over here. I'm sorry. I can't handle that.
I was looking around my desk just now. I don't have anything interesting. Really.
I've got to. I mean, it's. I've actually. I'll tell you what. Anybody out there remember the 1990s classic cult film Hackers? With Matthew Lillard, Angelina Jolie, Johnny Lee Miller. Anybody? No.
Gibson. Yeah.
Hack the Gibson. Poet, I'm glad you remember, because I happen to have a bottle of Jolt Cola sitting right here, which is the soft drink of the elite hacker. It may take a while for you to see that, because as I said before, the camera is delayed for these fantastic chaps. But yeah, that's a little weird. I don't even know why that's there. It just is. It's a thing. It's there. It's totally fine. Apparently, I found the Canadian secret, Poet. Are you going to admit to the fact that mayonnaise and tissues is the Canadian secret? Is that something like, you know how in the UK we get our national insurance cards?
You mean you guys don't do that?
No, well, I mean we tend to stick with other condiments.
Now this is news to me.
Barbecue sauce?
VH. It's a good VH and tissue situation here.
I mean, personally, reggae sauce is my personal favorite, but I think only Isaac is going to know what that is. So it's fine. Yeah. It's totally fine. Actually, that's a good topic of discussion here. I mean, this is supposed to be a gaming podcast, but condiment of choice. I mean, is there obviously Poet seems to be really into his mayonnaise. Like,
actually, to be honest with you, I don't care for mayonnaise that much.
Not well.
And yet,
shock, horror.
This is
news here first, guys. Hashtag Poet no mayonnaise. Get it trending. That's pretty crazy.
I don't care for it too much.
So you're more of a ketchup man or a ranch dressing?
Hot sauce.
I
have hot sauce on everything. Okay. I've got 17 different kinds of hot sauce in my fridge.
Chipotle, Tabasco, any of that kind of stuff?
The works. Okay. I got into the really
Sriracha.
I got sriracha. I got into the really hot Trinidad Scorpion Maruga hot sauces and all that kind of stuff, ghost pepper stuff, Tabasco.
Good choices. So basically anything hot, you go to Poet. That's
yeah.
it. So we're further going into the hot poet
news,
kind of thing.
Hot news.
That's it. Hot news, hot condiments. I like the sound of that. That's good. This is going to be a thing.
That's the slogan.
This is going to be a thing. I like it. I mean, yeah, I'm right there with you, MK. This is amazing. Isaac, do you have any condiments that you're preferential to?
I don't think I have an all-round, all-purpose condiment for everything, but I would say I'm slightly fond of mayo. You know, you showed some Hellmann's earlier. I can go for some Hellmann's. And I don't think Northern America. I don't know if you have brown sauce, like HP's brown sauce is another.
It's like a vinegar sauce. Yeah,
it's
like a malt vinegar kind of thing.
It's like imagine like ketchup and vinegar. That's the
kind of. Yeah, we got HP sauce. We call it HP sauce.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, HP. Yeah, that's well, that's the brand name one. Yeah. Other sauces are available, but not as good. Oh, nice. MK, you strike me as a Thousand Island kind of girl. Is that? Are we quite close, or?
Actually, no. I would have called myself a fan of ranch for the longest time, and then about a year and a half ago, I got diagnosed with a dairy allergy.
Oh, wow.
And so after that, I would say I'm really into. I like stone ground mustard.
I mean,
like
that,
the really
that
grainy,
cuts down your condiment
stuff.
choices, doesn't it? You can't have mayonnaise,
right?
You can't have any of the sour cream and so those kind of ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sour cream is nice.
So stone ground mustard, barbecue sauce, and I also like the hot sauce. Although I tend to go either. I like all range of hot sauces. Like I like the chipotle. I like the green salsa. Yeah.
Chipotle is always a good way to go. If in doubt, Chipotle it out. That's what I always say. I don't always say that.
It's a new slogan.
That's what you always say, no matter what.
Say. No. If I always say that,
I'm having trouble building this bridge in Minecraft. I don't know what to do. Well, when in doubt,
Chipotle it out.
Chipotle it out.
I mean, I'm sure that's a thing. It's fine. Okay.
Turn to camera. Hold bottle.
It's a thing now.
Well, I think we're officially completely off the rails, and I think we hit space now. I think we're in upper orbit somewhere, which is a lot of fun. Poet, why don't you bring us down to earth? What have you been playing this month, my friend? Any good games? Any bad games? Anything you tried to record?
I actually had to open up Steam to see what I've been playing. I don't really I don't play any modern games. I was playing that new Sonic game still, even though my Let's Play is done with that. I've been.
Which one? Which is that? Dash or Boom, or which one are you playing?
It's called
currently?
Sonic Generations, so it's a little bit older than the Boom, I think.
Boom is pretty bad. I don't know if you've seen any of the Let's Play content on that. I was watching some Game Grumps playing that game, and my God,
I even get to my profile. There we go.
It's not finished. it's not finished. It's pretty bad. So what do you think about Sonic Generations then?
I was a classic Sonic fan, right? From the 90s Genesis era. So it was like I rejected the new ones completely, never wanted to play them, thought they looked terrible, thought they were terrible. Played this one and I really enjoyed it. So
is Generations in a 3D space or is it in a 2D space?
It's in both.
In both.
Yeah.
So it switches it up. Because from what I understand, any 3D Sonic game is pretty bad. That's
what I've always assumed, right? But this is both worlds combining, so I thought that was really well made.
Okay.
I've been playing The Crew, that car MMO.
So is that actually any good though? Because from what I understand, that had a few kind of problems getting off the ground. Is it
Ubisoft problems? What?
I don't know.
What about?
Yeah, let's make some Ubisoft enemies just at the very start.
Let's just say I don't play it every day. I don't play it constantly, like some people with MMOs generally would do. And even the little amount that I play, like maybe an hour every 3 days or so, if that, maybe one day a week. For an hour or so, I'm pretty bored with it already.
Sure.
I think that it's pretty limited in what you can do and what you have, but it's still pretty fun. I love those kind of car racing type games, and it's an MMO, so you can just go everywhere and open world type of thing.
I mean, they're all pretty fun though. Those kind of racing games, especially all the Forzas and those kind of things. So in terms of the MMO, how does that actually work then? So can people just drive into you and smash up your car, or is it?
They can, as a matter of fact. Well, the way that it works, they kind of limit it so that when you load into an area, when you go to an area, you're loaded in with I think 7 to 10. Maybe it's even only 5 people.
Like you're local instance kind of thing?
Local people who are all kind of in the same area.
Okay.
And for a fact, you can smash into their stuff. And I have a really great time messing people up when they're in the middle of a skill challenge, trying to compete to do something. And I will take my junker of a car and get right in front of their Ferrari every time. It's amazing.
Just
I think
ruining their day. Just generally,
it's part of the fun.
Yeah,
it's part of the fun.
That's quite a fun one. It sounds good. It's one that I admit I didn't get into, but it sounds like people are actually enjoying it, which is pretty good. Anything else you've been interested in this month at all?
I've been playing TF2.
TF2. I think there's some people in the chat that were talking about you were playing this new game, Warlords. Is that a thing?
On Hypixel, yeah.
So
Warlords.
Warlords, the mini game. Okay, so for anybody out there who doesn't know what this is, it's a Minecraft multiplayer thing, kind of like Walls.
Hypixel.net.
So how does it work? What exactly is it? What does it do? What things happen?
Well, have you ever played World of Warcraft Battlegrounds at all?
No.
Well, okay, so then it's kind of like a medieval style capture the flag or control point game. So I'm sure that no matter what game you've played, even TF2, for example, has a capture the flag and a control point game. So that's kind of the way that they do it. But you have different medieval fantasy characters. So you got a mage, paladin, warrior, and they're adding in a shaman.
Nice.
And you have different abilities that each class has, and then there's like subclasses within those classes that have different traits. And it's
Sounds
just
interesting.
fun. It's just a lot of fun. The best description can be found by playing it. That's all that I can say.
Which I think it seems like I'm going to have to give it a go at some point, because I've been playing Mega Walls quite a lot with Jake and company, and that's been a whole lot of fun. And I've never really got into the Hypixel stuff, so this is obviously a newer thing, which sounds like it's taking off quite nicely.
Right. It's the way that I always said it was that of the Hypixel games, it's kind of like Mega Walls in that you've got lots and lots of people. So it's not really a mini game. It's another one of their mega games.
Okay.
And then it's kind of combined. They have a game mode called Arena, which is another World of Warcraft spin-off.
Sure.
And it kind of combines the two of them.
It's amazing what people do with Minecraft these days. I don't even...
Yeah.
I literally can't even. It's amazing.
Yeah. At the very least, check it out or watch a video on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, people can log it, mc.hypixel.net, isn't it? You can just chuck that into your Minecraft client, and you can go check it out for yourselves if you want to give it a go. Or you can wait for a video on my channel if you want to. Or, in fact, I'm sure everybody here will probably play it at some point. So stick around to see your favorite YouTuber playing that coming soon. Fantastic. Poet, have you finished your Long Dark now? Are you done with that game?
No, I'm not done with it. I'm still playing it, and the last time I played it, they had introduced a huge amount of different updates. You can pick little like roseberries or something now, and they've added in a new inventory system. So I love seeing a game that I really enjoy, and that is basically, to me, that's an early access game. But even though it's early access, it's really complete and cohesive.
Okay.
I really like the fact that even though it's pretty cohesive, they're still making changes to it, updating it, making it better.
It's amazing.
Taking what the YouTubers and the fans and the people on Steam think need to be changed and changing them, and it's, to me, I really, really enjoy that.
But that's one of the best things about this company, right?
Much.
Yeah, exactly. But they're tweaking it based on the feedback that they're getting from the actual YouTubers who are playing the game, which is incredible.
I once did a rant. I said, artistic ability in making games, you should be able to make a game that you like, and people, if they like it, they'll like it. If they don't, they don't. Don't cave into whatever the demands are. And I think they're
amen to that.
They're really just taking the best suggestions that need to happen, like better inventory system, and doing those. And I think that if you haven't played The Long Dark, it's an art form, really.
It's an experience. Yeah, it's one of the games.
Experience.
It is. Yeah, I think that's a good way of explaining it. And I mean, I've only had a chance to play it I've played it for a few hours now. I've played it mostly on my ASMR channel because it's one of those games that kind of works on that level. Yep. But what I have played of it is really good fun, and it's not too difficult and not too easy. It's one of those sort of like medium level games where you can stay engaged with it for a good few hours. I mean, I can easily just throw away 2 hours on that game. It's like RimWorld, which is one of the games that I've recently got really, really into, which is like a prison architect style indie game, real time strategy kind of game, and it's just one of those games that you can sit down and you just suddenly, wow, it's midnight already. You know, it just time can absolutely fly.
Yeah.
It's a great one to for people to recommend. Definitely, absolutely.
The Long Dark, I'll sit down for a 15-minute recording, and then an hour has passed. So
exactly. Dear. Anyway, MK, I wanted to have a quick conversation with you about how your race to the moon went, or how it's been going. How have you enjoyed that? Has that been fun playing with everybody?
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, we just wrapped up the series last week. That was a great little event. Honestly, that is one of my favorite ways to produce content. You get in a group thing, there's a competition, and then you record for 4 hours, or you maybe break it up into 2 recording sessions, and you just knock out so much content. And in sessions like those, you learn a lot about the game because you're working with people who know it better than you do. And you also have a lot of fun, and you create a lot of content. I think it's a win-win-win on all corners.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. So for anybody who perhaps doesn't know about Race to the Moon, and I think Isaac might not be quite sure about this, do you want to explain to everybody what kind of, without spoiling the videos, what the whole concept was?
It was a series that Poet and Winter, I believe, started as a time shot thing. And so time shot is a Minecraft server that's survival and stuff. But we've also been branching out and doing some other things. Like we were just talking about Hypixel Warlords a couple minutes ago on the podcast.
Sure.
We'll get together and we'll record Warlords together, or Hypixel Mega Walls. And so I would say Race to the Moon was kind of an offshoot of collaborations like that, kind of like a new way of doing UHC. If anybody doesn't know what a UHC is, that's a Minecraft competition where you get thrown into a world and everybody's recording, and it's like a fight to the death kind of thing. And those usually take maybe 2 to 4 hours, and they're intense, they're fun, they're unpredictable, and everybody has a great time, and everybody gets a lot of video content out of those. So that's kind of what we were doing. Race to the Moon was a Minecraft mod called Galacticraft. Kitty. He's like, Mom, I don't want to be on camera.
So Galacticraft is the space travel mod for Minecraft,
it's a space travel mod for Minecraft. And what we did in the series was we divided up into 2 teams of 3.
Sure.
And we said, all right, first team to get a rocket to the moon and plant a flag wins. And it was this really intense, very fun race, where you're trying to survive and have food, but also get all your materials so that you can build your rockets to get to the moon. It was a really great, intense series, and
it's like a simple concept, but on top of that, surviving in Minecraft regularly. Which I mean, as anybody who watches my Minecraft episodes, I find it hard enough to survive on its own, regardless of actually having to have a task that you've got to achieve, and something as cool as that. Yeah, well, that's really, really awesome. Have you been playing anything recently that you've really been enjoying? I know that you mostly do Minecraft content on your channel, but has there been anything that you've been playing in your personal time, perhaps? Anything really cool?
Well, recently I've kind of branched out a little bit with what I've been doing on Twitch. When I was at PAX South, on a whim, I went to a panel on mobile streaming, and at that point, I didn't even know that mobile streaming was a thing.
I mean, just plugging your phone in and having and streaming your apps and things,
And so basically what I learned is that certain game studios, so Twitch gives this, they give the code to game studios who are interested in having, like mobile gaming studios who are interested in having their games be streamable. And then the game studios build everything into the game to make you able to stream directly from your phone. So I've been streaming every once in a while from my phone, a game called Asphalt 8. It's a really fantastic racing game.
I know that game. Yeah,
they knocked it out of the park. Yeah,
that
Asphalt
is a good
8.
game. Yeah, definitely.
You can stream directly from your phone to Twitch.
Wow.
That is...
And the way they design it, like you've got the chat on the very, very bottom, so you can read the chat. Because your phone has a camera, you've got face cam, you've got microphone. It's like everything you need to stream in the palm of your hand. Oh, hey, look.
That's awesome.
And it's really, really cool. And one of the things that really attracted me to it is that I've been traveling a lot recently. I'm going to conventions and doing different things. And one of the guys on the panel is kind of, I would call him, he's DZ Live, and he's what I would call one of the pioneers of mobile streaming. And he uses it as, he started just doing mobile streaming as his complete streaming identity. He doesn't really do much PC at all.
So that's his thing,
but
right?
But he was talking about how on his way to PAX South, he got to the airport and he was like an hour early for his flight. And so he purchased the airport Wi-Fi or whatever, and he streamed from his gate. And I was just like,
that's incredible. Oh, so I can't even imagine. Yeah. Like, could you guys imagine having to, like, because, okay, it's being on panels and stuff and being on shows, fine. Actually having to sit in the airport and talk to yourself into your camera, like, "Hey guys, welcome to the CaffCast." I can't even. That sounds like wow.
Yeah. No, it was just mind blowing to me to kind of see that as an option for staying connected with my audience while I'm traveling, things like that. Now there are some limitations, like you have to be connected to Wi-Fi because they've just determined that, cell phone signals are a little bit too unpredictable and fluctuating. So, I mean, you have to be connected to Wi-Fi, but other than that, all you need is a phone that can play Asphalt 8, or they have an MMO, they have a MOBA. These are all games from Gameloft that I'm talking about because those are the only ones I've really looked into. But their inbuilt Twitch integration is incredible.
That's Gameloft are a good example of a company who are quite up there with like trend setting with that kind of stuff. So that's amazing. So actually live streaming that. Wow.
We've got people in the chat saying, like the cool thing about that is you can stream from anywhere. So you see that comfy leather chair?
Yeah.
I streamed in my pajamas from that chair because I was like, I don't need my computer.
That's amazing. So if I'm having a sick day and I'm just really like, wow, I really can't get up to record anything today.
Can't get out of bed, yeah.
I could just stream
Asphalt
in bed. I love it. That is awesome. It's a shame that that integration sort of system isn't built into like Android or iOS. Like if they had like a Twitch kind of app that was running in the background, like how a call could run in the background and just be like, right now I'm recording this. Sort of set up your screen however you want, like the CaffCast podcast has been set up today, and that would be incredible. I mean, that's a really cool. It's a nice idea.
And it's not an across the board thing. It's not an iOS or an Android thing. It's built into individual games.
Yeah, so. But I mean, anybody can do it because you don't have to have a fancy computer to be able to do this. It's one of those sort of like more basic concepts. Everyone's got a phone, really. Most people have a phone with a front-facing camera.
Yeah.
I love it. That's really cool.
iPad,
yeah, definitely.
So mobile streaming is kind of something I've been toying with and looking into.
Because for anybody who doesn't know MK, you are quite a big Twitch streamer yourself, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't know if this is a good place to share exciting news like that or not, but I'm going to be live streaming from the Twitch booth at PAX East,
which is incredible.
On Friday.
Incredible news. Yeah, that's gonna be really, really awesome. So everybody, make sure that you're signed up. You're following. Is it called following on Twitch? I'm not down with the kids. I'm sorry. I have no idea.
Yes, it is a following.
Twitch.com. Is it just / MKTheWorst? MK? Is that? Yep. Everyone go over there and follow her now, so that when she goes live, then you get an email. You get an email sent directly to you, and you can tune in, and it's going to be awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to checking that one out because again, it's like a new place and stuff. I love it. Also, I think I'm going to have to try to design some kind of little mobile Twitch rig for Minecon so that we can all do like some kind of like Twitch gaming like at Minecon. I think that would be really, really cool.
That'd be awesome.
Dear, Gaming on Caffeine, my friend. How has your gaming been this month? Anything you've been really enjoying recently?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, as I'm sure we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all play Minecraft. Recently, somebody sent me The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Now, it's not a game that I play a lot on my channel.
Good game.
And people are like, hey, this game's got your name in it. Do you know of this game? I'm like, yeah, I've seen
The Binding of Isaac, because your name's Isaac.
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Like, messages every day. And it's like, I know. Come on. But
you're bound to end up playing it? No.
Yeah,
never mind. Never mind.
Well, Poet, if you want to put it that way, that's maybe just go back to your mayonnaise and hankies, mate.
I was trying to work binding into a thing. It can't. You can't.
You're fine. You're fine. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, someone gifted it to me, and I've been playing it for like the last week. It's like I say, it's actually a really good game. I'm terrible at it, but it's fun to play. I'll set a video rendering. I'm like, I can play some Isaac for half an hour. Start playing, and then it's like 45 minutes, an hour later, and I'm just like, oh. My video's done.
It's one of those games. It's one of those games that sucks you in, and you just end up playing loads of it. Yeah, I love it. That's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. It's I think it's a really, really cool one. Now, is there any interesting Minecraft mods or packs? Because I know you're playing Sky Factory, Has that kind of, have they done anything with that? Because I have never done like a Skyblock kind of series,
right.
and I've been really interested in doing one because I like the idea of starting with like a couple of bits of dirt and a tree and just kind of getting stuck in. How is that from a Sky Factory point of view? Is it a similar kind of like challenges or?
Well, my channel's mostly modern Minecraft stuff, like actually almost exclusively. And I've played quite a lot of Skyblocks. I've played the original Sky Factory 2, and Agrarian Skies. And I would say they are very good mod packs. Some of my favorite are the Skyblock ones. Sky Factory 2 is very similar to the first Sky Factory. Like it's a newer version of Minecraft, but it's very similar in concept. But yeah, I think you'd probably enjoy it if you know you were around the mods. You'd probably enjoy it because some of the later on in the achievements list, some of them are quite some of them are quite hard to achieve, you know.
But it's all based around like automation, isn't it? Like getting conveyor belts and stuff to have your world build automatically. Yeah.
Like one of the last quests in the quest book is to fill a deep storage unit, which, for those who don't know, is just over 2 billion of one item in a deep storage unit, which is like a stupid task to complete. It's like 2.1 billion items. And so we just had like tons of transfer nodes, you know, making cobblestone and sending them to a deep storage unit. And you have to leave the server on for days just to get it to finish up. But it does get there.
That's a good example of a mod pack that has like its own kind of set of achievements that you can go for, isn't it? Which is really, really awesome. So would you say that you've completed most of the challenges so far, or?
Well, yeah, I completed the first one. That one's done. And the second one, we actually completed all the challenges by, I think it was episode 20, and then we added a bunch of our own in. So we've like added to the quest lines, and we're just playing along with it now. And
that is really, really cool. That sounds like it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So I think one of these days I'm going to try to get a lot of people together to do some Sky Factory because, as I said before, it's one of those ones that I've always been really interested in, and it sounds like they've made a good amount of effort and made it really good. But you recently did a quick kind of look at a new mod pack called Regrowth, is it? Am I right?
Regrowth, I did. Yes, I was doing. I have like a little series where I look at because there are a ton of new mod packs coming out these days. There's like a new one every day, and so I decided to like browse the. If you look on the Feed the Beast forums under third parties, there's just like a ton of really awesome new mod packs. So I decided to take a look at just do like individual videos on them all.
Sure.
And yeah, I looked at Regrowth, and that's actually another really cool pack. It has the quest book. I don't know if you've all seen HQM, the questing mod, I guess. And yeah, it kind of starts with that. You kind of start in like a wasteland, and it focuses heavily on like Britannia and some of the farming mods, and you kind of move up from there into technology and stuff like that. It's a really cool concept. I've seen some series on it, and it looks really fun.
That's really awesome. And you said before, there are so many mod packs like all the time. So many. For somebody to actually be spotlighting them is really cool. So if anybody needs to know the best from the rest, Gaming on Caffeine's the place to go. Because there are definitely a lot of those guys out there. Now I'm gonna do my best to we're gonna move on to some news in a minute.
Hot news.
But first, we're gonna be going into some hot poet news. Now then,
needs to be a segment.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna start doing some nice kind of bounce, and then Poet can just. I just want your deepest voice, Poet, and in fact, I'll tell you what. I'll find some royalty free sexy music on YouTube, and then we can go with it. Sexy music. That's probably not the best thing to be searching on YouTube. Okay.
Someone clipped together some Barry White.
It's fine. I found 5 minutes and 8 seconds of royalty-free sexy music. Let's see how. Oh, it's not.
Welcome to the Calf Porn Podcast.
It's not very sexy actually. It's not. It's really
the Porncast.
It's really not ever going to be the Porncast. I'm sorry. That's not. I mean, you're more than welcome to use that name if that's what you what you're down with. That's fine. Sexy free music. I don't. This is weird. Okay, let's try.
Sexy free music. That's what you're going for.
Let's try. How else am I going to look for it? Romantic music.
Sexy time music.
Sexy time.
Yeah,
getting down.
Let's try sexy time music, royalty free. See if we can find. If there's another one here that I can try. It's the same. It's the same song, just put up by somebody else. That's fine. I'm sure.
It's destined to be.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, well, I'm just going to do it myself anyway. So Poet, what sexy things have been happening recently?
Really? You're asking me what's been going on
in your deepest, sexiest voice? What's? Because this is Poet Sexy Time segment, so you need to kind of
Do we do anything other than YouTube?
No, I suppose that's true. Is there nothing sexy about YouTube? There really isn't anything sexy about YouTube. I could sit there editing videos for hours on end.
No, they limit those kinds of things.
Okay, why don't you try to sell me the thing that you're going to be having for dinner tonight in your sexiest voice? What are you going to be cooking?
Thought about it.
Okay, what did you have last night then? Come on, we need something. It's like a nice bit of beef, slowly roasted.
I had a nice thick cut of beef.
Was it a nice thick slice, Poet? Was it?
I had a whiskey. The name was Black Cock.
Black Cock whiskey. There we go. I think it's official. We've
to me.
Lift off. We got lift off. Brilliant. Okay. Well, that's sexy poet time. Done. Thank you very much for that.
I don't know what I had actually last night.
It's going to become it's going to become a recurring thing, I think. Now. There's a couple of oh my god, in your flame. Oh yeah, thick beef. I kind of yeah I'm right there with you. So there's a couple of can you really say that the podcast is all about thick beef? Is that a thing? Is that true? I'm not sure if that's actually a thing, but we'll see. Anyway, so we're going to move into the news segment now, as I slowly try to claw this podcast into some kind of order. We recently had some sad news, the passing of Leonard Nimoy, which everybody I'm sure knows about. Is anybody here who doesn't know about Leonard Nimoy sadly passing away?
I think we're all
there.
Up to date on that, yeah.
There was a really cool thing that I wanted to just quickly cover about Star Trek Online. Have any of you guys played Star Trek Online at all?
Yep.
I have not.
I have. No.
It's an interesting little kind of MMO. I don't think it necessarily got as much credit as maybe it deserved, but it was a cool little game, and I just wanted to show. I've got a little image up on the screen right now of just some people on Star Trek Online.
They are on the planet Vulcan. For those of you,
on the planet Vulcan, they are starting to attention to pay their respects to Leonard Nimoy, which I think is like just such a cool thing for people to do. I mean, regardless of whether or not this is actually like a popular game,
gamers I think, coming together.
Yeah, exactly, and paying their respects to a loss of a legend of a man. Who will be sorely missed. So yeah, that's just a quick one to bring us back down on a somber note there. But yeah, I think it was worth mentioning because that's so cool. It's so cool. Anyway, the first thing that I wanted to cover on the news here is that GTA 5 has once again been delayed. Now
I don't even know why they put a release date on that game. Like just put it out on Steam and just it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. So I know that they were saying that there was some quality control issues or something like that. Is the thing that Rockstar mentioned as the reason for it. I really hope that it's going to be good, but my hopes are kind of wavering ever so slightly. Are you all GTA fans? Are you all going to play the PC version when it comes out?
I'll play the PC version, yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't played it yet, so
you haven't played it at all. Wow.
I haven't played it on any console. So no, my brother's on it on Xbox, but
I've played maybe like an hour of GTA 4 on Xbox, and that's like my entire exposure to the series.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, aside from culturally, like I know what the game is, I know what it's about. I've seen other people play it, but as far as me personally, I've hardly played it at all.
So is that because you're not into that style of game, or is that just because you haven't had the consoles to play it, or?
Well, I mean, if we want to go deep into my childhood trauma,
you were beat up as a hooker?
Wow.
I like it dark. I wasn't ever allowed to have a console as a child. I did not own a console until I was 21, and I lived out of the house. And my roommate had a 360, and got me very deeply into, I think I played Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
Found it very fun. I did the campaign for that. And then Skyrim. And it was really Skyrim that ushered me back into being a gamer, because that was before I started my channel, really.
Isn't it crazy to think how old that game is now, especially how good it still looks?
Yeah,
like that's
it's still
incredible.
good.
Yeah.
It's still so good. But I was very into PC gaming as a child.
Sure.
I was raised on Civilization 2, Age of Empires 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now
I
you're
could play.
talking.
Oh, I could play Age of Empires for like 10 hours. Like, I was so addicted to that game, my mother wouldn't let me own it.
Oh wow.
But whenever I went over to my cousin's house, I would just be like, "Hey, what's up, Aunt Laura? I'm going to be in the computer room."
Just playing that for a bit.
Don't mind me.
Nice visit.
Don't mind me. I got stuff to do. And then I was also super into some of the sim games, Sim Farm, Sim Tower. Okay, I think Sim Tower is the first computer game I ever like had dreams about, like where you're dreaming about your next strategies. Like, you're so obsessed with the game that it's popping up in your dreams.
Wow.
I mean,
So is that like a tower defense like PC game, or what? I don't.
It was like Sim Tower was like Sim City, but you're building like this skyscraper. So you have to like have restaurants and facilities, and then you also need to have like housing for people, but you don't want to have the housing too close to any other louder floors. And it's, just one of those like building strategy games.
Makes sense. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So
and then Roller Coaster Tycoon. So yeah, I have zero console experience until 2010, like 2010, the year 2010. When I first touched an Xbox 360. But yeah, so I was raised on PC games.
So now that kind of you've grown up into a fully fledged woman and have the ability to choose your own games and consoles and things, are you thinking about giving GTA 5 a chance? Are you gonna play it, or?
I'm definitely interested. I don't know if I would want to play it on PC, and I currently don't own a console, so we'll see.
So that limits you for whether or not you can actually play it. I personally think that perhaps GTA 5 on the PC isn't going to be as revolutionary as a lot of people are expecting it to be. Like, graphically speaking, it's probably going to be. I mean, it'll be good. It'll be better than the consoles. The fidelity will be nice. The field of view and stuff will be nice. But I think the mods is where this game is going to absolutely shine, especially if people start doing like better nature, better AI, better kind of like wildlife, all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a couple of screenshots I'm sure you guys have seen on Reddit and similar screenshots of like heavily modded GTA 4 that basically looks like real life, like straight up looks like real life. And so similar to the kind of things that hopefully will be happening in GTA 5. But yeah, I certainly think it should be interesting. Poet, Isaac, are you guys? I don't think Poet you're necessarily looking at GTA 5, are you? Or
well, for me, when I never played GTA on any of the consoles. I started with Grand Theft Auto, the first for PC, was one of the first PC games that I remember playing, where it was top-down view, and GTA 2 as well.
And very difficult to see where you're going.
3, I played it on PC only. Played all the spin-offs on PC, and I was really excited about all those games. I really loved those games just for their satire and the form of playing with these cars and doing crazy things with them. I really loved games like that. But as San Andreas came out, and then the fourth one, I started to kind of not be as interested in them, and looking at the fifth one, I see that it still kind of kept the same mechanics, same kind of style, same everything like that.
Sure.
But my interest in that style and that mechanic and everything is almost completely gone. So I know that a lot of people, if they're fans of the series, will be fans of the fifth, and having it out on PC, of course, everything gets better on PC.
Yeah.
It'll be a great game. So yeah, they should check it out, but I probably won't.
I think the GTA 5 series is going to be there whether you like it or not, because I think it's one of those ones where they did push boundaries back in the day, especially in like the 90s and stuff, when people were trying to get the game, like heavily trying to get the game banned and saying how it's it's affecting our kids and all that kind of stuff.
It's going to raise a violent generation.
It makes you want it more. Is as a kid, I think a lot of people,
which I think
clung on to it.
But I think it's allowed to have a legacy because of that, and it's allowed to have a following because of that, because it did push some boundaries in a very good way. But I think it'll be interesting to see. Isaac, are you going to be playing on your channel? Is it a game that you're interested in?
I'm I'm kind of in a similar boat to MK, where I've only played the last one for a couple of hours on like Xbox.
Sure.
So I haven't really played a ton of GTA, but I feel like everyone who I've heard of who's played it has said like it's an amazing game and it's a great game. So I'll probably buy it on PC. I'll probably play it on some channel somewhere and or Twitch, and yeah, I'll probably play it.
I try my best to not get hyped for games. Like I let myself down with countless times with different Final Fantasy games. I let myself down by getting too hype. I just need to just let it do its thing.
Ever since the 4th one.
I mean, Jesus. Ever since I'd probably say like I played the online Final Fantasy game for a long time, but ever since the 12th one, I just don't even know. Like, and all the weird games that have come out since then as well, like the half-breed Final Fantasy, I just don't even know. I literally don't even know.
There's always been half-breed sort of Final Fantasy spin-offs.
But like Lightning Returns, why did she return? Why did we need that? That wasn't. We didn't need her to come back. I think we were fine without her. We could have just carried on and played a different Final Fantasy game with new characters.
Why not?
I don't know. That's. But yeah, I think it's interesting. Anyway, fantastic. Moving swiftly onwards. Now, I think the next topic may not be. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. DirectX 12. A bit more technical for everybody. There's an interesting tidbit that's been coming out recently about what Microsoft have been doing with it. And apparently, now NVIDIA and AMD graphics cards should, don't quote me, but should be able to work in the same system and combine into a single pool of VRAM, which is very, very interesting, especially if
crazy,
especially if you have like an R290
you happen
or
to
something
have
like
two
that.
high-end graphics cards lying around that you just want to shove into the same system, you know.
Well, let's say for example, you maybe weren't au fait with computers. You didn't necessarily know what you were doing, and you bought like an AMD card that doesn't have the CUDA cores or something that maybe you needed to do some like effect rendering and stuff on Premiere or whatever.
Right,
and
exactly.
Now you can just be like, boom! I can just whack a 970 in there or a 960 or whatever, and theoretically they should just work at the same time, which is, I mean, pretty cool stuff, right? Especially for people who are perhaps trying to get things like, there are all these new technologies coming out like G-Sync and FreeSync. You guys know about these monitor technologies? It's basically a really, really simple way, well, a really, really complicated way of making a more smooth frame rate experience for people who have the monitor technology built into their monitor. So you have to buy a new monitor for it to work. But let's say, for example, that that you needed to get an NVIDIA card to be able to do G-Sync. I think it's that way around. You can just whack an NVIDIA card in your computer, and that effectively should work. So that's.
Yep.
I thought that was just a really interesting thing.
You can already do that. That's the thing.
You can have the separate
cards in and say you want to do the CUDA processing, for example, like you said. You could do that right now. The main benefit is that you're going to be sharing VRAM.
Yeah, it pulls.
And
I'm not sure.
It takes your great graphics card and takes another great graphics card and basically shoves them together in a virtual space, I think.
Yeah. So
that's the key. That's the key.
But is that going to be SLI merging with Crossfire, or is that going to be like?
No, it's completely independent. You'll never see the technologies of NVIDIA jiving with ATI. It's never in a million years.
Not going to happen.
It's going to be maybe on the Microsoft end. They're going to try to do something virtually, and that's what the key is.
It's really awesome, though. I think it has the potential to make things a lot easier for a lot of people, especially when there's people out there who perhaps are in a situation where they don't have the right thing at the moment, and they need something else. Or Aga Physics, for example, that's a great example. Aga were bought out by NVIDIA. So if you want a physics card, FHYSX or whatever you pronounce it, then you need to buy an NVIDIA card. So it's one of those kind of things. You know, when a company clearly has bought into the right thing and you perhaps have not, then you can, rather than just having to be like, I'm just going to have to sell my card on eBay and start again.
I don't mind that. It's video game companies choosing to support a certain technology, and that technology is only on that one card that you kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about that. I should be able to buy an ATI card and have the ability to play a certain game at the level it was made for.
You should be able to.
So.
You should be able to, but unfortunately, that's not how the legal system works. Sadly.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
I mean, you look at what's recently happened with Comcast and how they're now planning to like try to overthrow the FCC, making internet into a utility like gas and water and stuff. And they're like, we're gonna fight this. It's kind of like, well, that's not really how it works, but. Whatever. Regardless.
Yeah, the deal there was that the local, if I read that story, the same story, is that it was a local town, like a small town of 5,000 people or something, was getting their own internet provider.
Yeah.
Mostly,
and
I think
Comcast said no.
Stuff, Backbone, which was like 500 times faster than what the Comcast in the area was available at.
Yeah.
And Comcast was like, well, you can't do that. Why are you doing that? We're going to set up an investigation. Not because we want to stop you. Not because we care. But we're just curious why you want to. I don't know.
It's great, isn't it? It's like making YouTube videos, and like for me, for being in the UK and having to like make sure Total Biscuit is okay with making YouTube videos, but because it's that kind of thing, isn't it? It's a crazy
craft. Are you sure that I you want to do that?
I just want to make a review. Is that going to be okay, or is that going to affect you too much? Yeah, it's one of those crazy situations. I don't know, we're much better off in the UK at the moment, but it's nice to think that whatever usually the good things that happen in America kind of eventually find their way over to the UK. So I'm hoping that
trickle down.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
The difference is that in the UK, if something ever goes wrong, they just riot.
Yeah,
we don't have that many.
Protest.
Yeah,
riot.
There was the only one that happened recently, which went very, very wrong, was the students did a protest about the tuition fees. Yeah, which is like, how is that helping you? You're just because you're out and you're bored, so you're just gonna go and fight some people. I don't understand that at all. That's like, if you're really upset about tuition fees going up, then play the game and go through the system, because it's not going to change otherwise. Dear. Anyway, so moving on to our second to last topic, because the last topic is quite a big one. Bethesda, for the first time in the history of E3, is going to have a booth this year, which I'm hoping, and I'm sure a lot of people out there are hoping, that this means new Fallout. And if it does, then my God, my channel will be going. It pretty much will be a Fallout exclusive channel.
Minecraft what?
Bethesda Fallout E3, new stuff, amazing. What? Huh?
They would have to. I don't know. I have doubts about any sequels like that. So
I don't know. Did anybody out there get the tail end of the Reddit kind of Fallout scam? Not scam, but like ruse. So essentially, what happened was this guy who was feeling fiendishly trollish decided to make a website with some weird little bits of code and stuff that pointed to secrets about what essentially could have been the next Fallout game. Little bits of code and stuff, and making it really complicated, like as complicated as like Valve like to make their little secrets in like Portal and stuff, pointing at new updates for like Half-Life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it got proven to be, well, it didn't get proven to be fake until Bethesda were like, no, look, this genuinely is not us doing this. Like we're not, because everyone thought, yeah, this is it, new Fallout. So now that has been the case for us, I'd say around about a year now, nothing at all. And the Skyrim engine's been out for a very long time. We're still sitting on Fallout 3 and New Vegas. For any Fallout fans out there, we're still previous generation. We're still working on the Elder Scrolls 4 engine, which is good. It's not bad, but it's not Skyrim.
Especially with mods, you know. But
well, exactly. But we could
still
have
not
a
up
whole
there,
lot better. And
it's
been a long time. I mean, there's been a couple of different bits and pieces about like Mad Dog, the sort of the radio DJ on the Fallout games, had apparently been hired by Bethesda to do some voiceover work. From what I understand, so. There is potential. It could potentially happen, but I mean, the only other thing that we all know is happening with Bethesda that has been announced is the fact that they're releasing a new Elder Scrolls content, aren't they? Which is the.
I mean, chances are you get there, they have this booth, and all that it is, oh, by the way, did you realize that the Elder Scrolls Online is free to play now?
Yep.
it could be something as simple as that, which would be a crying
annoying.
shame. Yeah, exactly. It would be hideously
Piss
annoying.
a lot of people off.
I guess we don't really have a choice but to wait and see. But I know that I'm hugely excited to find out what it is. And regardless, I mean, even if there is no new Fallout, which would make me very sad, there is still new Elder Scrolls content coming out, which makes me very happy. And hopefully that'll be a whole lot of fun.
I think it's very clever that someone found out or got the information that the voice actor had been hired, and then that was their kind of tip off that work is being done. Because I remember, like, I'm being very Canadian right now, but before we knew that we had an NHL team, it was the contractors who were building the seats who gave it away, you know?
Yeah.
Like, find out from, like, the lesser, like, insignificant parties that, yes, something's happening. Because I was hired to draw, like, the little, I don't know, some tin can graphic for the game, you know?
Yeah, and that's how they find out that the game is happening. Yeah, I think the bigger the system, the easier it is for something to get out. And I think that's always the case. I mean, you know, you look at Apple, for example. They always the people who let them down is the Chinese manufacturers who are getting the, you know, there's some screen somewhere, and then someone gets a chassis somewhere, and then and then they put them together.
Don't know how.
And it's crazy, but that is the way that it always happens. So yeah, but anyway, it's exciting to see. I'm certainly looking forward to that. So last topic of the podcast before we go on to asking these fine people what they're going to be playing for the next month, for the month of March, is Minecon, because we're all going to Minecon, aren't we? We're all going to be there. Which is super exciting. And
wait, weren't tickets supposed to go on sale? Are they like
They were supposed to go on sale in
End of February, right?
Did they go on sale?
No, there was a tweet saying #SoonTM.
What they firstly said they were going to do is they were going to do in 2 weeks an announcement of the date when the tickets were going to go on sale.
Yes,
and that didn't happen. So I assume it's something to do with the
Let's just hope. Let's just
They have
hope
the venue. I've seen the pictures. They have the venue.
They've done this to us before. It would be
maybe it's just Microsoft getting all their
We've been burned
massive.
before. Yeah.
I'm kind of imagining like you walk through the door and like you see in front of you just a massive start button, right? And you have to like press the start button like to sort of like get into the Minecraft and booth, and it kind of opens a staircase and you go down, and then I'm kind of that's
like
how that's
the moving staircases in Hogwarts, just like.
but like really dodgy and sketchy because it's like redstone, so it's just like, you know.
There's lag, and then
you can't determine how long it'll take or what the ticks will be.
If only. I can imagine that Microsoft are putting a bit of money in though, and I'm sure they are selling sponsorship deals by the bucket load.
I don't think they are.
No,
I don't think Microsoft has anything to do with it.
It'll be interesting to find out if you're right, because I can't imagine they would avoid it. From going to EGX Resd last year, with everything that Xbox and Microsoft did there to outplay everybody else and every other booth, you know, sitting there and trying to do things 10 times louder than Sony or Nintendo.
Convention just for them kind of thing. So they gotta get a return on their investment somehow. Yeah. Right. Maybe convention's the way to do it. Maybe they'll invest there. I don't know.
But I mean, there's a part of me
maybe
that kind
the
of thinks
tickets will be a lot more expensive than we're expecting.
Possibly,
which wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, the current estimates are around about what $120-ish a day. Is that about right?
What's that, about £70
there?
But yeah, about sort of £60 to £70, which is kind of what I'm like mentally prepared for. You know, because I know I'm not going to get press pass, so I'm like mentally preparing that I'm going to have to like submit that kind of money. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to say I don't think mine will be offering press passes.
They don't.
So it's just a case of having to sort of sit down and pay this large wad of cash, and not to mention the fact that there are obviously exceedingly expensive hotels and things. And
God,
yeah,
hotels.
So it's the whole thing. It's just gonna be expensive, and not to mention the fact that Poet is flying over from Canada and MK is flying over from Americania.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting one. I can't even imagine. You guys are the dedicated of.
It does feel pretty permanent for me though, because back when we thought Minecon 2014 might still happen, I kind of got a group together of people who were like, okay. Back when we all knew it was going to be London, even though it hadn't been officially announced, like we all knew, right? Sure. We kind of got a group of us together and we said, all right, we're going to rent an apartment. We're going to do this. And so we already have our lodging locked down. So it feels pretty real. Feels good. Feels real.
Which I think is a thing. Yeah. Getting it done early was definitely a sensible thing. I personally, I'm kind of waiting until I've actually got my tickets before I do it. Which is stupid. So I might do it tonight. I might get my application locked down tonight.
I fully expect to not get a ticket, but that's never been an issue for me for any other convention thus far. I've always been able to find somebody who can't go at the last minute, buy somebody else's tickets.
Yeah.
I've never had the problem of not being able to get a ticket before.
Yeah, the last Minecon we needed 11 tickets. We got 11 tickets. It was not even a matter of.
So it hopefully will be very, very interesting. I'm very interested to find out anybody who's watching now in the chat, if any of you are definitely going to Minecon or even just sort of like thinking about it, and also in the comments on YouTube, because this podcast will be going onto YouTube after we're finished here today. Are you going to be going to Minecon? Are you coming down just so you can get a hug from MK? Is that what you're doing, or about perhaps a signature from Poet, and maybe like a kiss from Poet? Well,
kiss on the lips
or a lick.
A sexy time. We're gonna get like a sexy time 4x6 postcard done of like Poet's head on like a sexy lumberjack's body, with a ton of mayonnaise next to him, and then we'll get that signed for you. No problem at all. That's fine. Or perhaps maybe even you want some cutout. You want some beard trimmings from Isaac, perhaps, in a little baggie.
Yeah,
he might just hand over to you.
Thousands of these down with me to Minecon,
That's why he's shaving every day. He's just getting all the stubble for all his fans can just have a little bit of.
You get a little bit of stubble with every trimmer,
a piece of me. Which would be interesting. Or perhaps you just want to come to the show to sing me my outro, which I'm really hoping that someone does this year, because that would be awesome. Because then I would sing along and it would be a whole lot of fun. Is there anything that anybody is specifically looking forward to this year? Apart from, obviously, I know that there are a lot of people who are part of the Time Shot community who are really looking forward to meeting one another for the first time or seeing old friends from our community. Is there anything else that you guys are really looking forward to this year? Do you think Notch is going to show up?
TwitchCon.
Yes.
I'm very excited for that. That was just announced the last weekend of September in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically going to be VidCon, but for streamers. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to go, but I would say I'm a solid 90.
So that's a pretty good a pretty good percentage. Yeah. I think 90 out of 10. That's good.
It's going to be a little bit more tight knit, kind of like VidCon, I have the impression, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, because I think, it'll be all the people that see each other, at various PAXs or cons, but it'll only be the streamers and stream viewers, basically.
Yeah. And I think Minecon there will be a lot of people who are like YouTubers and stuff, and that are going to go. Yeah. I'm sure there'll be some kids going, but.
Yeah, I think the thing that'll be weird about Minecon is that there's also going to be this contingent of people who are just Minecraft fans who don't watch YouTube. Which
I don't actually think about that too much.
I wonder if there are.
Play Minecraft. There are people who play Minecraft who have no idea of the
because
YouTube community.
Because of the Xbox version. They got the Xbox version for Christmas or something, and they don't.
I meet people and we talk about, like, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a video game commentator. And they're like, what now?
I make videos on YouTube for a living. It's.
And so I kind of explain a little bit of what I do, and then they're like, oh, and what games do you play? And I'm like, I play mostly Minecraft. And they're like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. My niece is really into the game Minecraft. Mm-hmm. It's like, I think there's a huge contingent of people who play Minecraft who have no idea of the massive Let's Play and streaming communities built around it. Yeah.
Well, if anybody is going to Minecon this year who doesn't know about the streamers, I think they're going to be inundated with people who are being followed around for no reason. Can you imagine? They're going to be there and like strippers just walking around with people just following him. Is that Notch? What? Hang on a second. What? Yeah, that should be pretty interesting. I think.
If it's anything like the last Minecon, it will be primarily littler kids and lots of fans. The YouTubers kind of actually are few and far between, but
Well, I suppose that's probably to do with the fact that they're actually getting out there and also getting tickets because they sell out in like minutes.
Yep.
You know, if
I know a lot of YouTubers North American YouTubers who aren't going because it's just too expensive, too far.
Yeah.
You know.
Now you know how we feel. Every other convention in the world is over in North America. Every other one.
Yeah. I am making sure.
It's ridiculous. Like, I would love to go to Comic-Con. Can't. It's like a million miles away. I would love to go to like DesignerCon and like ToyCon and all those like different ones for like Urban Vinyl and stuff. I just can't go in any of those kind of ones. Finally!
You're going to BronyCon.
BronyCon, that might be you on your own there. Who's your favorite pony there, Poet? Are you a fan?
I got my own pony at this point.
Oh, you is it called Twilight Poet?
Yeah,
Twilight
Poet Sprinkles.
Wow.
Poet Sprinkles.
Yeah.
Poet Sprinkles. I like it. I like it. I want that to be fan arted as soon as possible, please. If anybody could get it out
it
there.
is. Trust me, it is.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay.
Got a little pair of rubber booties on the butt.
I love it. And your little goggles. Are you wearing your little goggles? Yep. I mean, that's one of the most important things. You gotta keep those on.
Dear, how else could I do welding as a pony?
I mean, even if you don't need to weld anything, just wear the goggles for fun. I mean, you know, if it's an extremely bright day, maybe you're looking at
going skiing.
Yeah. When it's a lot of that. If sunrise in the morning when you're driving to and from work, you know, that's that kind of thing. Now, doing it like that makes it look like you've got an extremely thick mustache.
Yeah, I know. I just noticed that too in the camera as I was doing it because the.
Oh dear. Anyway, well, that's the news segment done, and now we're kind of moving on towards the end of the podcast. It's not necessarily the longest podcast this time round, guys, because as I said before, this is just a nice little pilot to see what you guys think of it, whether or not you like the format, whether or not you like the guests. I mean, I don't really have much kind of like say in this.
They hate me.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
Secretly, he's going to do a poll after this for who to boot for the next one.
It's actually an elimination style podcast, guys. So I kill off one of these three.
The wheel of elimination.
Fantastic. But until just before we go, one of the things that we wanted to do is spend a little bit of time talking to you guys about what's coming up on our YouTube channels very, very soon. So, Poet, why don't you kick us off with how March is looking for you, and if there's anything coming out that you're looking forward to.
Warlords.
What's that? Warlords?
More Warlords.
More Warlords. Literally all the Warlords, right?
I've got, I think, 10 episodes pre-recorded, and I'm probably going to pre-record 10 more. It's just so fun. And then just continuation of my normal series. That's all. I don't know what else I'm going to be talking about or doing.
But that's
March.
fine. I mean, you're
usual.
But you're going to be your time shot's going to be coming out as normal. There's still some.
I do have to say this though, is that I do have, because certain series ended, I do have some open space now, and so.
Okay, so there might be something that perhaps
I'm going to be filling the gaps with
something
a few
new.
Things.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'll be a research project. Is just going through Steam list of games. I got, I think, 250 games or so.
That's cool.
Just 227 games to be exact.
So there's a couple that you might be able to play. Maybe some. What is the name of that game? That has literally slipped my mind completely. What's that spaceship game where you play in space and it's an indie game and it's in space?
Space Engineers?
Space Engineers, yeah, that's the one. Do you want to maybe play some Space Engineers? Go around, flying around in space, engineering some things?
Yeah. What a game that I have been looking at, actually, is called the Yogg.
But is that any relation to the Yogscast? Or,
no, none at all whatsoever.
Okay. Just making sure. I was going to say, how's the UHC content coming on your channel, but unfortunately you...
no. Yeah.
You might have...
Spoilers.
Yeah. Oh dear. Okay, well, where can people reach you, Poet? Where's your social media at? I know you're youtube.com/PoetPlays.
Yep.
Where else can people find you?
PoetPlays, Twitter.com/PoetPlays, Twitch.tv/PoetPlays.
It's nice to meet people who have consistency throughout their social media. You know, that's the way it should be. Cool.
Instagram.com/PoetPlays.
I like it. Thank you very much, Poet. And if anybody out there doesn't know who any of these people are, or if you don't know who I am, because you might not know who I am, you might be here thinking, "Hang on a second, what the hell's going on here? Who's this crazy guy?" It's fine. It's fine. All 4 of our channels here will have links on the YouTube video. If you're watching the YouTube video, you should know who I am because you're on my channel. But you can click on any one of these beautiful faces, and it will take you directly to their channel.
We are hosting you, aren't we? So
yeah, exactly. Well, so someone could be tuning in for just to see a nice little bit of MK, and unfortunately there's me here instead, and they might be very sad about that. So I'm going to try not to use up too much of their time. Oh dear. MK, where can people find you? What are you doing this month? Anything interesting?
Okay, so aside from the Twitch stream from the Twitch booth at PAX East, basically I'm going to be kind of holding steady. I was dealing with a couple of things in my personal life toward the end of last year, and I'm finally really kind of digging myself out of all the complications from that and really getting back into my regular content production schedule. So it's going to be
awesome.
A lot of Time Shot, a lot of Minecraft, and I'm very excited. In 4 or 5 days, there's a game called Firewatch that's coming out from an indie studio called Camposanto, and they are previewing their game at GDC in like a couple days. And I don't know when they're releasing it. They haven't given a date, but that is a game that I've been drooling over for probably 6 months now. So I'm going to be watching that, hoping for a release date when they preview that at GDC.
That sounds like it should be a whole lot of fun. People can reach you at youtube.com/MKTheWorst.
I'm MKTheWorst everywhere.
Brilliant.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
MySpace,
everywhere.
Pretty pro.
LinkedIn.
MySpace, LinkedIn, Zanga.
Zanga, yeah.
Zanga,
Yeah.
Friendster.
All those ones. Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. Gaming on Caffeine. Isaac, my friend, anything coming up on your channel? Anything new? Anything exciting? Anything different?
What innovation? Minecraft mainly, of course. 3 years running. Minecraft. No, probably still much of the same. To be fair, on my channel, more Feed the Beast Infinity. The new mod pack just came out. Sky Factory. More mod pack reviews, stuff like that. Same old. To be fair.
And you're the one who's being difficult, aren't you? You're youtube.com/GamingOnCaffeine, but you're twitter.com/
Caffeine Rich, CaffeineRich. The reason for that. The reason for that is because, and it's a real pain because Gaming on Caffeine is 16 characters long, and there are a lot of sites that cap it at 15. So it's like I go to change my Xbox Live name, it's like nope, can't do that. You can only have 15 characters. So unless you spell it wrong, you can't have it. And Twitter's like nope, you can't have that. So I'm like, well, there you go.
If anybody can think of a new name, I think maybe Gaming on Isaac, Gaming on Caff, Gaming on.
It could be. GOC is usually taken everywhere.
That one guy gaming. Yeah. You could be gaming on Sparkles with a star, and then maybe people might sort of mistake it for somebody else. That might work.
But and then Captain Sparkles sues you.
Exactly. Well, I don't know if you can someone sue you for using a
trademark
name? Oh, is he okay, well then there you go. Oh dear. And I have got a whole lot of exciting RimWorld content coming out. This is the one game that as I said before, I couldn't put down, and I probably put about 4 hours worth of RimWorld. The finishing up the UHC as well, which should be happening throughout the Time Shot community. And next month is when GTA 5 comes out. So this month I also have I don't know if anybody else out there knows Carmageddon, the game Carmageddon. It's by a little publisher in the Isle of Wight called Stainless. It's like a sort of a smash 'em up kind of I
liked the cars in that
full damage kind of game with some very, very silly power ups. And it's just a whole lot of fun. So if you haven't already seen that game, then it might be worth checking out the CaffCast in the next couple of days for my full review on that, because it went into public release over the past few days. So that's that. And you can get me at CaffCast pretty much everywhere, the same as all these fantastic people. And in fact, I checked the other day. I Googled myself because I'm that kind of guy.
Google snack.
It was all like YouTube, Twitter. It was all me. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's all good.
Yeah, I get Samuel Coleridge and Edgar Allan Poe.
I'm sorry, Poet, but I don't ever think you're going to get Edgar Allan Poe off of the hot seat for that. You can try. You could try to become bigger than #bigger-than-Poe.
I can be bigger than Bob Dylan. I mean, Dylan Thomas, I should say, actually.
Thomas. Well, Bob Dylan was a poet in his own right, but Dylan Thomas. Rage against the dying of the light.
That's it. You could certainly try anyway. You get 10 points for trying. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us for the first episode of the CaffCast Podcast. Guys, my name is Caff Poet, MK Gaming on Caffeine Isaac. Thank you very much for joining everybody, and we'll see you all next time. Take care.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
This is the really awkward bit where we have to wait for about 10 seconds.
You're like, how quickly? Well, like, what's our Twitch delay at? Like,
Yeah.
How long do we have to sit
Now
here
let's
on
watch.
Just gonna...
Yay! I waved.
Hey, look at us waving.
Okay, bye this time for real. Goodbye.
Bye.